step in your river, and it takes me deep. Your heart is my temple, your tears rinse my feet. I walk out, I'm able to carry your peace. It reminds me of a song that I heard long ago. Maybe I've always known that you were right there. A simple melody playing over and over in my dreams. But somehow out of reach, eluding me until I release. You come close to me when I believe, and I let you take the lead when I believe. My heart starts to see when I believe. When I believe. You said, come to my garden, eat from my tree, step in my river, let it take you deep. Your heart is my temple, your tears rinse my feet. You walk out, you're able to carry my peace. It's an ancient sound heard from the ones who came before. Now it's here once more to pierce your soul. A simple melody playing over and over in your streets, like a whirlwind turning things, tearing out the dark. That's where I believe. And my heart starts to sing when I believe. I let you take the lead when I believe. You come close to me when I believe. When I believe. It's all in your feelings. It's all how I receive your sound. All in your feelings. Your emotions, they find me out. It's all in your feelings. It's all how I receive your sound. All in your feelings. Your emotions, they find me out. When I let it go, when I let it go, then I let it go. I let it all go now. I let it go. Hey, now I let it go. I let it go. Whoa, I let it all go now. Oh,
All right, we are live, everybody. How's it going? Shout out to all the people in the chat. We see you guys chiming in there. Shout out to everybody in the Pride from the Young Lions. What's up? We are live. We are in the new studio once again, chilling, relaxing, kind of just lounging here on the couches. Going to talk about some things, going to do some reactions, a lot of conversation about what's going on, what's been happening this week, a lot of weird things that I've seen that I want to talk to the fellas about and kind of get everybody's opinions on. But I want to give a quick shout out to everybody who's been chiming in the chat. Courtney Davis said, "What's good? How's the Pride doing today?" That's right. The Pride is here. We're feeling good. Everybody in here. Paul Horner said, "What's up, fellas? What's up, brother?" Another young lion. My mom said, "Hi, everyone." Shout out to mom. George said, "What's good, fam?" What's up, George? Hey, guys. We're here. We're ready to get into it. You're watching Young Lion TV. It's not working? No. You just click on it. I did. We got a new producer in the building today. So I guess we don't have an intro. It's okay. It's okay. But shout out to everybody who's in the chat. We're not going to hit the intro today. We're just going to keep it moving because we got James with us today. We got Jake with us on the other couch. Yeah, there you go. We got them chilling. They're in the building today. Bring everybody's mics up.
Hey, there we go.
What's up, everybody?
We got Moan with me, and then we have special guest today helping us out with production. So show yourself real quick on the camera. That's my little Lisi right there. She's helping us today. The intro didn't work?
Nope.
You push number 1 on the keyboard? There you go.
Everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, young lion. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, won't you get up and start fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding. Young lion.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Lee.
There you go. Now, there we go. That she got me back. Okay, so shout out to my daughter. She's 12 years old, helping out. John couldn't be with us today, so I forced her to sit in that chair. Put the camera on yourself again. She doesn't want to show herself.
Yeah.
So she's helping us out today. We appreciate it. She's doing a great job so far. I don't know why it wasn't working. Abuela said, "Go Lisi." Courtney said she's a natural. Oh, what's up, baby boy? He said, "What's up, fellas?"
Ooh.
He's still with
What's up, baby boy?
He always with
He's
his
always hashtagging.
hashtags.
I'm not gonna say it.
Too nasty for TV. What is that? But yeah, everybody show some love to my daughter. She's stepping in there, doing her thing. 12 years old, and she's doing good, man. I'm
Yeah.
proud of her.
Stands in the house.
Good job.
Shout out to Stan. Stan couldn't be here tonight either. He had a little situation.
Stan's always fixing stuff.
Yeah, he's always working on cars and working on something, and he had a little mishap with a knife. So we're gonna just go ahead.
Pray for him.
Pray for Stan. He couldn't be here today. Paul said, "Young lioness." That's right, man. I'm raising them up to be part of the Pride. We got to do that. It's important. Get these cubs going. But listen, guys.
What should we say around here tonight?
Well, it's
Yeah.
that's a good way to help with the algorithm. It forces us to be more conscious about what we say. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting because we do got some serious stuff to talk about. So we're going to try to do that in a very PG way. But please hit the like button, guys, and share the video if you want to support what we're doing. We got the Patreon, patreon.com/youngliontv if you want to become a member. And that link is already up in the chat. So you can hit that, go there, sign up, become one of the members, become a part of this Pride that we've been building up and, just constantly trying to grow and and take to another level. We have so many ideas and things that we want to do, and as we get more support, it's going to be easier for us to do those things. So become a member. Also, if you want to just throw a couple dollars to the kingdom, you can hit us on the Cash app, Young Lion TV on there. And, the website, Jatan.com, got the merch.
Yeah.
And we also have the Young Lion T-shirts that are not on the merch store yet. So if you want to support that, you can either just hit us on the Cash App or just hit us up and let us know, and we can get you those $20. And we have a show coming up this Saturday that we're excited about. If you didn't get your tickets, I think there's only 2 tickets left. So, if you want to get tickets to that show, there's only 2 left. So get those.
I think
now.
there might be
Standing room
only, maybe.
Standing room only left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, after the 2 tickets.
After the 2 tickets, you can get in at the door, standing room only. But shout out to everybody who's in here right now. I know a bunch of people that are watching are going to be there. I'm pretty sure Paul's going to be there. I know Courtney's going to be there. I know Emma's coming. A bunch of the Young Lions are going to be there. So it's going to be exciting. Going to be a good show. This is August 27th, this Saturday
yep.
at the Gathering Place in Philly in Germantown. And Mom says, I need a ride.
It's in the good part of Germantown.
Yeah.
So come out.
Come out. It's going to be a good show. It's going to be a great time, and we're gonna do a lot of our new music, and the vibe is going to be crazy. So looking forward to that.
Mom, Leslie's coming, so you can go with her.
I was gonna say if she wanted to come with us, she's gonna have to come at 3:00 and help us set up.
Yeah. She definitely doesn't want to do that.
Sound check.
Pass.
Yeah. Or she can probably ride with y'all if she gets here. I know Liz is going with you, and either way, you can you can ride with either one. But yeah, other than that, what else is going on? What's everybody been up to? What's everybody feeling? How's everybody doing?
Good, man.
Good.
Busy working.
Anything extraordinary you've seen or want to talk about, or because we really don't have no deep topic today. We're just gonna do a bunch of reactions to stuff that I have. What?
I haven't had chicken feet in a long time. So my brother James,
Right.
I went and did a photo shoot for Alonso. Well, really, his whole family.
Yeah.
It was good, man. I took some really good shots of the family. They're so
appreciate
cute.
you, man.
Yeah, and then
That's what you did that this weekend?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
Sunday,
nice.
and I
Nice.
Oh, that's why you weren't at church.
was
No, he came later. He came like in the evening time.
yeah, I wasn't physically at church.
Yeah.
But yeah, afterwards he had cooked before we went out to this beautiful park in
Yeah.
what's it called?
Historic Smithsville.
Smithville.
Yeah.
It's like it's like an old mansion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it had like gardens and
Yeah, it's very nice actually.
Yeah. There
Next
was
time
like there was like 5 photographers there. So
Really?
I know, yeah.
That's a spot.
Yeah, that's the spot to go.
Okay.
I actually want to go there again
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
shooting with kids, they get all, antsy and they're done after
Yep.
30 minutes.
2
Yeah.
smiles and it's over.
Yeah, but I wanted to stay and like shoot some more, but next time.
Yeah. So
But
beautiful
yeah,
place.
I went. James cooked. He made some ribs. He made some chicken feet just for me and
Nice.
me and him, and it was
That was your payment?
But they still. I told him, I was gonna look them out, but they
They still took care of you.
They still
See?
took care of
That's,
me.
That's what
That's
good
family.
That's what good folk do. You know what I'm saying? They don't always just be like, "Yo, let me get the hookup, bruh.
Nah,
let me
no
get
hookup.
that on the family discount, brother.
we
let
don't
me
do that.
get that."
Yeah,
No, we support each other around here. That's what the pride does.
Yeah.
We support each other. We
Yeah.
support what each other are doing. Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's good. I can't wait to see how those pictures came out.
Yeah, man, that's so cute, man.
I'm sure we'll be getting
Yeah, you guys will get some updates on
yeah,
But
dope.
that's it.
Yeah. And what about you, Jake?
What do you mean?
Anything?
What I do?
Yeah.
I was with you.
Yeah, we played soccer. We played soccer and went to church.
Man, I was with you the whole time.
Saturday we had a show.
Saturday we had a
Right.
show in New York.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
I
forgot about that. That was something. We were in Harlem for the Rise Up thing. and Mayor Eric Adams was right there on stage with us.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, just
Had no clue.
Yo, can we talk about that? The level of people. I don't know. I don't even know what to call it. It's like they don't. There's no boundaries. Like just for instance, like the show going on. Like
Yeah.
we're on stage, we're performing, and there's just everybody on
Yeah,
stage.
yeah.
Steve was saying, he had like at least 7 people around him.
I saw
the
it.
whole entire time.
Yeah.
they were
The
just crowding us on stage, like
Yeah.
just
Who-
random people
Oh,
just
no, okay,
coming up
okay.
on stage and just want to be on stage while the show's happening.
Yeah.
So they're crowding the musicians.
People
Yeah.
taking pictures. It was a small stage.
It was a small
For
stage
what
to
it
begin
was,
with,
yeah.
and then they
Yeah.
had a videographer on stage,
Right.
and he's trying to like weave his way through me. He's like telling me to move out the way
Yeah.
as I'm playing.
Yeah.
He's like, yo. I'm like, bruh, I'm
Yeah.
in the middle of the show.
I'm singing a song.
Yeah, I'm like
Me-
singing, playing, like
Yeah, when me and Jake we sing background, but we're doing dance steps too.
yeah,
The video dude was in the way.
yeah.
The DJ was in the way.
And you're already, like-
going up on stage and dancing.
You're already like barely to the edge
there
of the
was
stage.
barely
yeah,
barely
right.
any room.
Yeah.
And
But
then
it's
and then
funny- Okay, sorry.
no, I was gonna say the mayor.
Yeah,
I
that
get
too.
I get you're the mayor, bro,
Yeah.
but you can't like. There's boundaries. You can't just stop the show and
Yeah.
I want to go talk.
Yeah, that's what he did.
He did?
Yeah.
And then Freddie's old back.
Yeah, that was another thing. Because Freddie's from Harlem, right? Freddie's from Harlem, so one of his old background singers was at the show, and this is someone that I know from previous shows before, and I know how Freddie feels about
was in
that. I know,
Africa,
yeah,
right?
and I know I know this person.
Yeah.
So I had no idea they were there. We're on stage, and I noticed out of the corner of my eye that Dave is like arguing with the sound guy and like grabbing a cordless mic out of their hands, and they're doing something over here. I'm thinking like Freddie's mic is cutting out, and they want to swap it out or something. This is what I'm thinking. Like, okay, man, it must be an issue with the mic. But I was dealing with my own issues. I was having computer issues, so I'm like juggling all that, trying to sing and play and juggle that, and watching this happen. So then after the show, I get a call like, yo, did you see Freddie's old background singer convince them to give him a mic and say he was going to come on stage and sing background with y'all?
Wow.
And I was like, what?
Right.
Like, who does that, bro?
So let me get this straight. You guys went on stage.
Yeah.
Random people showed up on stage.
Yeah.
The photographer.
Yeah.
The DJ.
Yeah.
The mayor.
Right.
And Freddie Disgruntled
Back
backup singer.
background.
What kind of reality show do you get?
Bro, I'm telling
Dude,
you.
yeah.
Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes these show scenarios are like that, man.
It's boundaries, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know where we're at. We're like, nah, we can't do that. But it's how do you even? I don't. I just don't. I'm a loss for words. I don't understand. Like I thought about that when you told me that story yesterday. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And he had the mic on, right? And he was singing.
They turned his mic on. He started. That's how Dave noticed, because he started singing background vocals, and then that's why he went over there and started arguing. They like snatched the
Y'all
mic.
heard him?
I couldn't hear it because we're dealing with in ears like we have now.
Okay.
So only thing in our in ears was us. So like, and a little bit of like
Oh, yeah.
keyboards.
So he's
so whatever he did wasn't in our ear. So I didn't know. I couldn't hear. Like because we go through the whole sound check process to make sure whatever we want in our ears is in there. So if they just turn on a random microphone, we're not going to hear it in here.
But they might have been onto something. He could have just been singing. Let that man sing over there in the corner.
No. Because first of all, there's a reason why he's X. You see what I'm saying? There's a reason.
No, I'm saying they just like flip the switch and think he's singing, but it's just like,
It's just him. He's just hearing himself over there in the corner. It could have been that.
I
It
killed
could
it.
have.
I
It
killed
could have been. It could have been. But even the fact that the audacity, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
Like he wanted to come on stage
Wow.
next to them,
Wow.
where?
dude. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. He
I'm
was
just saying,
he-
where was he trying to come?
This is what I'm
There was
saying.
no-
It didn't matter. He probably would have stood right in front of both of y'all.
Yeah, I mean, with all of it, you see, like, and we deal with that in other places. It's just, it's Harlem. So the mentality is like that in a lot of places we go, but that was just, it was kind of like, exacerbated. Like,
Yeah.
there's something with that. Like, people wanting to be seen, people wanting to be, wanting to show off, wanting to feel like they're a part of something big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people wanting to insert themselves. It's just selfish.
It's like the rappers that
Yeah.
have like 30 people on stage. Just
Yeah.
you know.
Everybody wants to feel like they're
like
a
you're
part of
doing something.
Yeah.
And we just there to get in and get out.
Get in there.
You know?
I wanted to do that show
I want
during
you,
sound check.
I want you guys to do, just for comparative sake, to do like another artist from that era, but not R&B,
Yeah.
like somebody in probably like the rock genre,
I would love to, man.
and just to see
The difference.
What you guys say.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you guys have seen parts of America, but from the eyes of, like the R&B spectrum, the older R&B spectrum.
Yeah.
I would love
Yeah.
to see if, let's say you guys did something for like a Steve Miller type, like, kind of like.
That would be interesting.
So speaking of that, Dave, I actually just shared on my story. Dave sent us that picture of he was watching PBS.
Yeah.
So we did a special on PBS. We
Okay.
recorded, we
You sang background
for a bunch
a
of people.
bunch of artists from like the
Different-
doo-wop era throughout
okay.
the
Yeah.
60s and 70s.
Yeah, and one of them was Roger McGuinn. So that's
From the Birds.
yeah,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
a different genre.
Yeah.
So
And then we did Mitch Wheeler, who was like Detroit soul guy. We did
the Dovels.
We did the Dovells.
Yeah.
We did Eddie Floyd.
Yeah.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah.
And Jamie had a solo.
Jamie
did his own thing.
with who was that with Young Bloods or something? I forget the name of them.
Wasn't it like the mothers and the fathers or something like that?
Mamas and Papas.
Mamas
no.
and Papas.
The mothers and the
Mothers and
fathers.
Fathers.
I've never heard that
I
before.
apologize if I offended.
Isn't it like the mothers and
The mothers and the fathers. Today we have, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce the mothers and the fathers.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
California.
But I'd love to see if that would be interesting to see a different genre.
I would like to see that too. I feel like it's a different vibe. Like, because we've done the younger R&B thing when we were on tour, like all of the younger.
Yeah, you've pretty much been in that.
Yeah, so we saw that, with the Tyrese's and the Chris Browns
Yeah.
and the, but and now we're seeing like the older
Yeah.
element.
But don't you think now, because of, do you think people just want to get on stage or they just want to be seen
I think they just want to feel like they're a part of it.
Yeah,
or capture a moment, right?
I think they want to
Did they
feel
have their
like
phones out?
they're doing
they
something.
want to feel like they're special.
Yeah.
No, like it's not even about having their phones out. They just want to be on the stage while it's going on,
Right. That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But New York is a weird animal anyway, man. Like every time we go there, it's just like New York has its own energy. You know what I mean? I know we say that about a lot of places, but New York has a certain energy. It's almost like this arrogance. You know what I mean?
They're so prideful.
Very prideful. Like the first interaction we had with somebody, Stan will probably attest to this in the comments when we as soon as we pulled up, we Dave told me where we need to go to get into the parking for the venue or whatever. As soon as we pull up, here comes a police officer walking up to the van.
security.
Was he security or was he
Yeah,
police
it was
officer?
security.
security guard. And straight New York, like, what's up, y'all? Where y'all need to go? And I'm like, oh, we need to go to. I told him the exact street we need to go, and he said, hold on, this is my city. So I'm gonna hook y'all up. I'm gonna show y'all where y'all need to go. And then he took control and told us to go around, swing around the block, and he was gonna let us in from the back way.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, man. Like
I mean, he meant well.
he did,
He did
but it's
mean
just
well.
it's
It's
just
just
that
the-
like
The mentality.
like most people would be like, what is your problem, dude? Like it's not that serious. Like we just tell us where this street is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hold on, this is my city. You know what I mean?
Sometimes people just get hyped. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What is Stan said? I can't read that, Stan.
Security officer was
Did he spell that wrong?
HNI.
Oh, HNIC. Yeah. security guard was the HNIC. Yeah, that's what I think. Like everybody wants to feel like they're that.
Yeah.
That's what they want to feel like. Like I'm in charge. You know.
Yeah.
And it's, entertainment. So everybody, I'm sure they're kind of hyped too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm into MMA and boxing. I'm sure if I was working that, I'd be hyped too.
You'd be trying to get in the ring
Yeah, come on,
after the fight. Something like trying to,
Done got beat up.
yeah. Speaking of that, did you guys see Anthony Joshua's
Yeah, he
thing?
lost. He
But did
lost.
you see like
His rant?
his behavior after the fact?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
I did not.
I feel.
Can we pull it up? Is it interesting?
I mean, it's just like him. I don't know. A lot of people are making excuses for his reaction to the fight. Like he just basically just had a meltdown and started
he lost.
disrespecting.
He lost. He grabbed the mic and he started. He tried. He switched camps. He went to another trainer, and he looked better, but he's just not as skilled as this guy Usyk, who is a Ukrainian.
That was
fighter.
another
was the
thing
story behind
because they
that.
made this whole big story about Ukraine
Yeah.
and blah blah blah.
And to be fair, he is actually not like that. So they were trying to turn it into this like Ukraine versus they're trying to
versus the
he
UK.
wouldn't do it. He's not like that. He's not a
Anthony wouldn't do it, or
no,
he wouldn't do it.
The Ukrainian
Okay,
fighter wouldn't do
okay.
it. He wouldn't go along with the narrative, But yeah, that he and I gotta give. I mean, from me as a fight fan, I gotta give those guys, those Ukrainian fighters, props because the Klitschko brothers, Lomachenko, and Alexander and a couple others are all Ukrainian.
Oh, they are?
all dropped what they were doing, got out of camp, and went back to. They could all avoid it because many of them don't live there, and they all went back to fight for their country. And the president granted him time to go, fight and defend. He didn't want to, But Anthony Joshua at the loss of the fight grabbed the mic and started cursing, and he had his flag. He had the flag. He had the.
He
Ukraine
took his flag and put it on
and he's
himself.
like, "Hey
yeah.
man, come on, man, don't be cursing with my." That's the only thing
Yeah.
he told him was like, "Don't be
Right.
cursing and disrespecting
Yeah.
my flag on your back."
And it turned into like a whole thing. Like he was about to fight some of their crew members, and they're like, it was.
I didn't even know he was like that, man.
No, I think it got to him. I think a lot of pressure on this thing. And he's a superstar, so I think it started to affect him a little bit. He apologized. He broke down at the press conference, and he he cried about it. So
Yeah.
What, Anthony Joshua cried about it?
yeah, he was upset.
Yeah.
But yeah, show class in your defeat.
Yeah. That's his second loss, right?
To the same guy, yeah. Jesse got just.
Oh, so he has 3 losses.
Yeah, 3 losses. One to
that,
Andy Ruiz TKO.
That
and
that
then-
big dude.
Yeah, yeah. But show class. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. So let's get into some stuff. Let's see if we got any comments. Stan said Usman lost to UFC last second in the 5th head
Yeah.
kick. Leon Edwards, new champ.
Yep.
I saw that too. Everybody went crazy.
Now he handled it well. Usman is handling it well.
Yeah.
He gave him his props.
Was that who was? I have a clip of a fighter who said something about Jimmy Kimmel and I'll show it to y'all.
Okay.
Lee, see if you can pull up the screen capture on the top layer.
I don't see it on the thing.
You don't see it? Okay, let's see. Maybe. How about now?
No, all I see is the intro and the screen.
Look on the top layer.
I don't see it.
You see you just see the logos?
No, I don't. I just see the screen and the intro.
Scroll up.
How? With this mouse.
Slide up on the mouse. Use one finger.
I don't see it.
Yeah, because he.
I don't see it.
Okay. Well, hit go to the screen capture next to the camera shot.
The what?
Go to the one right next to the camera.
That's the intro.
The other side. Hold on a second. Let me help you out.
Look, this.
Hmm?
Look.
Oh, that's because you did something.
Yeah, Russian dude.
That one right there.
What's up? You know the history in that, like why they wear
The hat.
Yeah,
I think it's a tribal thing. It's from that
It's-
area.
It's a. It looks like an afro.
Yeah, it does. It's like a big. It's like a tribal thing with their culture.
Yeah,
You know, because Russia is huge, man,
it is.
and it before,
And they're so mixed. Like,
right. Well, before the Soviet, when it was the Soviet Union, all these different countries were kind of part of that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So they all have interesting.
I remember the one dude that used to box. He looks straight Chinese.
I know they do. They have a lot of.
There's
Like
some like
Mongolian,
Arab.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Even
they
the-
are technically Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the dude that beat Canelo, he looks
Yeah.
and he's really good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now we got it. We got it straight. You good, Elise?
Yep.
You see it now?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. So I'm going to show you guys this clip. The first thing is, what's new with Uncle Joe. So we're going to get a reaction to, just tell me if this looks like normal behavior. Did y'all see this? You seen
No, I
this,
haven't
Jake?
seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. You seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay. What about you?
No.
All right. Well, we'll get it.
We just give him a pen.
All right. He looks like he's spaced out. And why did he give him?
Bro.
He's deteriorating fast.
Bro.
That's what it
He-
looks like.
Let's watch it again.
Did he give him
Like,
the pen to sign?
He just got done signing the the tax spending bill.
Yes.
Right? They started clapping as soon as he signed it, and then this is how he reacted. It kind of reminds me of Hillary when those balloons went off.
Yeah.
And she like was
Yeah.
lost in space. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe.
It's my birthday.
And he's trying to hand him and look, and he's like, look at they're it's almost like you see even his reaction. He tries to cover it up by shaking his hand. But even his reaction when he handed him the pen, he grabbed it and looked at him like, "It's okay, buddy." Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, look at his reaction right here when he hands him the pen. He's like, "It's okay. Yeah. All right. Okay." Yo. And they're trying to tell us that this dude is just perfectly normal.
Yeah. He's all there.
Wow. Is that music being played live while he's doing that?
Yeah.
Such theatrics.
Dude, it is. This is America.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought that was crazy. Like that is like telltale signs of like, yo, this person is losing it.
Yeah. He's deteriorating really fast.
Mm.
What is he, 79 now?
I don't even think he's 79.
Oh.
I mean, we know like older people they have it together, but he's definitely dealing with something.
Yeah.
Yeah, my grandma was 92.
Yeah.
She don't do that.
She doesn't.
She don't act like that. He is 79. You're right. Wow. But Fauci's like 80 something, right? No, he is.
Is he?
Fauci's the one behind him. Take this.
he's giving them all.
I will be president.
Maybe it's something that has to do with the, that adrenochrome stuff. It's not working out so well. All right, let's check out this right here. So, speaking of that tax bill, see, I see you, Lise, over there on it.
Good job.
Speaking of that tax bill, so remember how when they were saying that 87,000 new IRS agents that they just funded through the bill was not going to target. It was only so that they could weed out millionaires and billionaires that weren't paying taxes, because you need 87,000 new agents to do that.
Yes.
Right.
Catch 'em.
So now this training video leaked, right? Just watch this.
Congress recently appropriated funds, so the IRS is currently looking to hire more special agents or CIs nationwide.
We're looking around, starting around $60,000, $70,000, somewhere in there. And then the advancements are you'll move up, one level every year for the first few years. So
An agent that's been in the field for a long time can top out at around $175,000 a year, as well as benefits and retirement. These aren't actual police officers. They're students posing as special agents for the IRS, arresting a man who is wanted for tax evasion.
Who are you guys? What is this?
We're the IRS. You're under arrest. You're going to jail, buddy.
Most people don't even know.
So they're literally training them to be like officers, with armed officers to come and arrest people.
Yeah, I did see an article about them starting to crack down on all the people who took out PPP loans and businesses.
Yeah.
Not a ton of the big businesses, but the small.
At least make sure you switch it. There you go. No, you're right. You can take it down though.
The small business, like, so guys who took out 10, 20, 30, it's all under 30, and they're all going after them.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to feel like they knew that this would happen, but this is because the war on drugs things is over.
Yeah.
But this is a new way to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like anything they need to like ramp up the prison population, I feel that they'll do.
Yeah.
War on tax evasion.
And it's like, how else are they gonna keep funneling that money into their system?
Yeah.
If they can't go after the, if they can find 1,000 people who own $1,000, you know what I mean? Who owe the government $1,000, that's easier than finding 10 people that owe them $1 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what and they're gonna find those people because they already have the information, really.
Yeah.
They already posted the pictures and stuff like that.
Shout out to Rob Ruffus, Freddie's bass player, who is watching right now. He said, "Yo, brothers, where is Pastor Jake? He's here. He's just kind of quiet tonight. I don't know. He don't have much to say.
I'm listening.
But he's here. So clearly they're not. Of course, they always do this. They say, "Oh no, you should be okay with this. We're hiring all these agents so that it can go after the rich people that are." But really, they're targeting us.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. This is designed to target us. Like they're clearly.
So they're going after Hillary and Pelosi and them
and Hunter Biden
and Biden.
No, they're not going to go after
Never
them.
that.
They're going to go after people like us that maybe you didn't. You missed $1,000 here or there in your taxes, or you got over a little bit here and there. They're going to bring armed agents with police vests to your door to tell you like you're going to jail. You know.
Yeah. And how do you guys feel about this? Like with all not that these people are going to get arrested, but have you heard about like the most of the people who are the crypto guys and all the investors and stuff, like taking out money and they're getting penalized for capital gains fund?
Yeah, that they're finding a way to tax people on that stuff now, where it's like if you cash out on crypto,
right.
they're hitting you with capital gains taxes like crazy.
Yeah.
But this is what people allow them to do this. Libertarians believe that taxation is theft. Period.
Yeah.
And there's something to that.
Yeah, I mean it's just unconscionable, man. I mean the person who won the $1.some billion,
Yeah,
they walked away with like 400,000.
yeah. So who really won the lottery?
Who really won the lottery? You know what I mean? Excuse me, sorry.
Yeah.
I mean it's crazy, man.
I mean, isn't that a lot of the reason why we went to war with, why the colonists went to war with
Taxation without representation,
with
man.
the King of England?
Yeah.
In the
Unfair
Revolution.
taxes, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they were fighting against the French. The French were trying to step in to some of the land. They were using the French. So, I mean, they were using the colonists to fight that war. And then when that started to settle down, then they're like, all right, let's tax them.
Yeah.
you know, and yeah, taxation without representation. That's where that whole saying comes from. But they looked at the opportunity, and that's where you have the issues, because a king can just do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, because sometimes we see certain things in movies, and it just seems like part of the movie. But there was a scene in our old version of Robin Hood where during that time of the kings that he's talking about, where even if you were hungry and you killed a deer, you were prosecuted because that deer belonged to the king.
It's the king's deer.
So you couldn't even feed yourself.
Damn.
Yeah.
And that's apparently historical. Like,
Yeah.
that's how crazy it got. You know what I mean? Like you could.
We don't even think about that. The level of freedom that we have here, like
Yeah.
yeah, until it's gone.
Because
Yeah.
it's why? Because we look, that's in the past. Those people,
Yeah.
we think of them as not being educated, so we wouldn't do that right now.
Right.
We just have more sophisticated laws.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
right.
It's
They just don't tell you it's the king's deer,
Right.
But
So
it
instead-
still is. It's
right.
just like our home. Like we pay property taxes.
It's not yours.
It's no. This is the king's land.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, don't
Just-
yeah.
You got to get permission if you
Even
want
if
to
you've
put
paid
a
it
porch.
Right.
Even if
Yeah.
you paid it off, miss a monthly municipal bill.
Miss a whole year of property tax payments
Yeah.
and see if they don't come take your the house that you've completely paid off.
Yeah, they just transformed it. You know?
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's put in stuff. We see it, but because it's so far removed from this society, we don't think it's just a switch. You know.
Yeah, we definitely take, for granted of the freedom that we do have.
Yeah.
I remember watching that Korean girl talking about like if
Yomi Park.
yeah, a cow, died or something like that. You can't even like cut that cow up to eat it.
Yeah.
It's that's Korean.
Yeah.
That's Korean cow.
Crazy.
North Korean.
What did you tell me
North
today
Korean.
about the food shortage in Denmark?
Oh yeah. Like they're paying farmers not to farm. They're basically telling them you're not allowed to farm, but we're going to pay you guys this amount of money, to keep you sustained, but you're not allowed to farm.
Right. But they're calling it a food shortage.
No, but there is a food shortage, but they're also doing that simultaneously.
Right.
What's up with that, man? Like,
Yeah, and we were talking
food
about
short. They're not allowing farmers to farm.
Yeah.
There's all these weird,
We talked about that today too. All of these
things burning down.
Yeah.
It's what's going on.
Yeah.
processing facilities getting blown up.
Yeah. It's
And it's so strange, right? So not to tie into it, but it's not necessarily correlating. But were you guys aware of a few months ago the baby formula shortage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
luckily, my wife is breastfeeding, but that place is the number one and only producer of. You would think the United States. I was
Yeah.
like blown away
Yeah.
by that fact. Like, wait, we only have one. I mean, there's other smaller ones, but
Yeah.
not to the scale of that one.
Right.
And when you look into it, it's because they won certain contracts and they basically got that. you
Yeah.
know?
Yo, speaking of that, I saw a video about it was I don't know if y'all seen it. I tried to look for it, but I can't find it anywhere. I saw it. It was a woman that was a truck driver, and she was like delivering something. And then she noticed like when they were unloading it, it was like baby formula that they were dumping somewhere.
What?
Yes.
Well, I didn't
And
call
then
it contaminated because they're saying a bunch of it was contaminated. But how do we know? I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
they
what they're
could
saying.
easily say that. They could easily tell you like, oh, this is contaminated.
but I went to go look for that video and I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
So
Stan said they're targeting anyone under 200K. Paul said government getting desperate. The golden rule: he who has the gold makes the rules. Yeah. Facts. Yeah, man. So I wanted to show you guys this video. You guys know who Sam Harris is, right?
I don't remember him, but I've heard his name.
He was like part of the intellectual dark web when they were coining that term. He's an intellectual. He's like
He's an atheist.
he's an atheist, but he's like he hates Trump, basically hates him. So he kind of exposed himself a couple days ago on a podcast, and I'm going to show you guys the clip of what he said.
What's his name again?
Sam Harris.
Sam Harris. Okay.
Yeah, he debated Jordan Peterson a couple times about. They had a long debate. It's actually very interesting where they talk about the like the moral standing of how can you have morality without a belief in God.
Yeah, I think I saw something. I don't remember him specifically, but go ahead.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm going to show you guys this clip of him pretty much showing how ridiculous, you know, when you hate someone that much, like how ridiculous your views can be.
Okay.
I don't care what's in Hunter Biden's. I mean, Hunter Biden, at that point, Hunter Biden literally could have had the corpses of children in his basement. I would not have cared, right? It's like, there's nothing. First of all, it's Hunter Biden, right? It's not Joe Biden. But even if whatever scope of Joe Biden's corruption is, like if we could just go down that rabbit hole endlessly and understand that he's getting kickbacks from Hunter Biden's deals in Ukraine or wherever else, right? Or China. It is infinitesimal compared to the corruption we know Trump is involved in. It's like a firefly to the sun, right? I mean, like there's just
What is he talking about? He said Hunter Biden could have had kids in his bodies of babies in his basement, and it would not compare. And what corruption is he talking about? Is he talking about the fake Russia Gate thing? Is he talking about? Watch what he refers to. Watch what he refers to.
Look at their faces.
Yeah,
Are they?
yeah. No, they're gonna push back. Watch it. Watch what he brings up.
it doesn't even stack up against Trump University. Like,
Trump
as a
University
story is worse than anything that could be in Hunter Biden's laptop, in my view. Right?
Really?
Trump University is worse than anything that could be in Hunter Biden's laptop. Just the things that we know are in his laptop already. Trump University was a failed, buy-in, college program for people that went out of business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, at best, it was just a dumb idea.
I agree.
Yeah.
Or Trump steak.
Yeah, Trump steaks.
It
was a failed business attempt from him.
Trump steak is worse than what's in Hunter Biden's.
It's a lot different
laptop.
than actual corruption.
Or how about
actual crime?
Drug usage?
That's crime.
Using government money from his father to buy drugs and having
Going
videos
to
of him
foreign-
with prostitutes, trafficking women across state lines.
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah.
are we talking about here?
And who knows what else?
Yeah, like doing corrupt. He specifically said him doing the backdoor deals with China is not as bad as. So this guy's kind of exposing himself. We'll keep playing
he
it because
says corpses in his basement, like
What is wrong with you?
babies. Like,
They-
what are you talking about?
but this is what I'm saying. When someone has been, this is why that term Trump derangement syndrome is so key,
He's got it.
because this is
Yeah.
what they're talking about. When it's like
'Cause you don't realize what you're even saying.
you don't realize, and it gets worse. It gets worse.
Really?
I'm gonna keep playing it.
Now that doesn't answer the people who say it's still completely unfair to not have looked at the laptop in a timely way and to have shut down the New York Post's Twitter account. Like that's just a conspiracy. That's a left-wing conspiracy to deny the presidency to Donald Trump. Absolutely, it was. Absolutely, right. But I think it was warranted, right.
So he's just admitting it.
So he's basically saying that it was okay to lie, for the media to lie and cover things up to try to stop Trump from getting reelected. It was warranted just because I don't like him.
So
Yeah.
this is why atheists shouldn't be. Like, where's he getting his morals from? See
Right.
how he has no.
But that was
he has no foundation.
that was Jordan
So he can move
Peterson's
it,
argument
yeah.
with him. Like, you can just create any morality you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing.
Judging by nature.
My feelings are
Nature
worth more
has
than
no more
potentially
morals.
dead kids.
My feelings are worth more than the entire democratic system of this country. Like a fair, like the media can lie to people as long as I get what I want.
That if I saw a laptop with dead kids' bodies,
Yeah.
it wouldn't matter to me.
As long as you get Trump out of here.
As long as you get Trump out of here. That's what that man is saying.
Yeah. And he's considered by the left as one of their heroes, one of their intellectual gods.
Right.
You know,
And it's like, even if we knew for a fact, which it's pretty close, that this election was stolen and the stuff that's happened with Biden, for real, Joe Biden, like, even if, like, there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
There's a way to go about it. You can't just be so blinded by that you will just go. And that's the issue with all this stuff. Like, that's where they get you.
Yeah.
Because if you have no grounding and you have no focus, all they gotta do is put something before you that's gonna make you mad, and you go somewhere else. You go off the path.
Yeah.
Like Black Lives Matters. All these things that, like, something happens and then they focus you on that, and then it takes you to a point where you don't realize you're not looking at the whole picture.
That's kind of what COVID was too, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like we're so afraid, we're so mad at people that don't want to just comply, that we're willing to just, like, round them up and put them in concentration camps, basically. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we'd rather turn this into a Holocaust than let them win.
And that's how close it can get. Like, people don't realize how quickly things can turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because where are the people that stand? This is when people who die and stand up because they die because they stand up.
Yeah.
They're the real heroes because they're integral.
Right.
Right? Integrity is what really matters.
Yep.
You're not integral if you see something that entices you to go over here. You're not integral if something pisses you off enough that you forget about what you said you believe in.
Right.
And then you go over there, and you do this
Or
thing.
if you're waiting for the winds of, all right, what do we believe in today? Okay, that's what we're doing. All right, cool.
That's not even.
That's not integral at all.
You a feather in the wind.
Right.
And this is the issue we got, man, with this country. Like, how are we gonna? We have to be responsible.
Shout out to Emma. He said, "Greetings, guys. What's up, Emma? See you on Saturday,
What up, bro?
I'm gonna keep playing.
Jamie
this.
will have your shirt.
Yes, I'm gonna keep playing this.
Again, it's a coin toss as to whether or not
Sam, I'm sorry.
that particular piece
I'm
is-
really
yeah.
sorry. I was the one that said we should move
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
but you've just
Go, yeah.
said something I really struggle
Go
with
for
there,
it.
which is
The
you
kid-
support
the kids in the basement?
no, fuck the kids in the basement. I'm interested in democracy.
Like he's
You're
like,
saying
yeah, that was crazy, but let's not even go there. Let's talk about.
Go ahead, go ahead. You know what's so sad, man, is look just the candor and the casualness of saying, I don't care about dead kids in the basement.
Yep.
And laughing about it and joking about it. This is so sad, man.
Yeah.
That these are the people who have gotten like the quote unquote intellectual stage.
Yeah.
That is very sad and disturbing. Oh, the kids thing?
Yeah, right.
What do you want to talk about?
Right.
That's disappointing, man.
It is.
That's really disappointing.
It's sad, man,
You
and
know?
it's sad that we are forced to be told that these are the people that we need to listen to.
That's the stuff.
This guy, the
Stop listening
Fauci's.
to him.
Oh, that's why I'm playing this.
Yeah, and that's why we have to be responsible. You have to. If you're not responsible for the rights that you've been given, they're not worth anything.
Right.
You're not going to enact them. You're not going to do anything, and you're going to give yourself up to somebody else.
Right.
And that's literally what happens.
Yeah.
Now you get rolled over.
And even if you're not a religious person, sit and ask yourself, listen, here's someone who's saying that the potential of a sitting president's son who has a laptop with obviously incriminating thing, he's making a joke. Let's say it's in satirical satire.
Yeah.
That even if he's saying, even if there was dead kids, I would not care.
Nope. I just want to win.
Ask yourself, does your value, your standard, and if you do have a family, is that the kind of person that you want representing you?
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Mhm.
Take everything else out of it. Ask that question.
I think that's why this guy is like trying to push back. Like, wait a minute, like you're going into crazy zone right
But
now.
it's actually a good thing that people like him do exist.
Yeah.
To show the people who are on the fringes.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of people, it's just politics. It's a team thing. My team versus your team.
Yep. Yeah.
The media has done a marvelous job at demonizing Trump. We already know that. Right?
Mhm.
So the fact that these crazies come out doing the victory lap,
Yeah.
to me, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what pride does. Like pride always shows his hand. That's why, like, and you know how they always say, the devil always shows his hand.
Yeah.
Like, right. He always goes too far, because that's what pride does. You're blinded by your own pride, right? That you like, your feelings want to stick it to somebody.
Yeah.
You know, so you'll do things that that's not too smart. You know, but you'll step out there because your wrath, your feelings overwhelm you to the point where you're not controlled in that. You have no control in that.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going with this. Pull it back up, please. Thank you.
With a left-wing conspiracy to prevent somebody being democratically re-elected as president.
Well, no, I'm content. Well, but the thing is, it's just not left wing, right? So Liz Cheney is not left wing, right? Liz Cheney is doing everything in her
Liz
power.
Cheney is not left wing. Come on, bro. Did you guys see the Saturday Night Live skit about Liz Cheney?
No, I didn't.
No.
It was pretty funny. I'll bring that up after this. I didn't have it, but it just thought about it because the fact that first of all, he's the one that called it a left wing conspiracy, right? And then when the guy repeats what he said, well, first of all, it's not left wing. Liz Cheney's not left wing. First of all, Liz Cheney is.
She agrees with everything on the left.
Yeah. And that was the joke on Saturday Night Live. It was like, you know, Liz Cheney was trying to act like she's a Republican. They were like, nah. Like I was surprised like that they actually came at her like that. But let's keep going.
To prevent somebody being democratically
it's not but there's nothing conspiracy. It's not. It was a conspiracy out in the open. But it doesn't matter if it was. It doesn't matter what part's conspiracy, what part's out in the open. I mean, I think it's like if people get together and talk about what should we do about this phenomenon. You know, if it's like if there was an asteroid hurtling toward Earth, and we got in a room together with all of our friends and had a conversation about what we could do to deflect its course, right? Is that a conspiracy? You know, like some of that conversation would be in public, some of it would be in private.
Look at their faces. They're looking like, yo, this guy is crazy.
We have an existential threat, right? Politically speaking, I consider Trump an existential threat to our democracy. Right? Now, he's not going to destroy the world.
He's comparing Trump being elected to a meteor hurling at the earth.
Telling you, bro,
like that is derangement.
The fact that he can even say that and think it sounds like it makes sense,
like
together
he's making a point
when he's actually smart. He's smart. Like I give it to him. He's smart.
Yeah.
Right. So the fact that he doesn't see that, it's pride. Like he can't get past his emotions.
Yeah.
Destroy democracy in the process of protecting democracy.
No, but that doesn't destroy. No, our. What I'm not suggesting, at no point was I suggesting we should stuff ballots or actually break the machinery of democracy. But
I'm telling myself.
Yeah.
Political opinion is already being just completely inundated with misinformation, biased takes, half truths, and outright lies, right? Like or just the amplification of bad or misleading information based on the algorithm, right? So it's already just an abattoir of opinion, right? And now the question is, what can you do with your own biases and your own to get the outcome you think is actually better, not just for yourself.
Now he's just talking gibberish.
Yeah.
Now he realizes
he told on himself.
Yeah, he told on himself, and now he's just. He's just blabbering.
Yeah. Everything he just described is exactly
what he's doing. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly, dude. And he just goes on to continue to babble. So we don't need to play the rest of this clip. But I just wanted to show that because it was like this guy for the last 5 or 6 years, I've been hearing about nonstop, like Sam Harris, he says this and he says that. And I've known that he like was totally against Trump, like hated everything about him, but to hear him say this, and everyone's playing it because he's exposing what a lot of people who have that derangement, like what they think. They don't care. It doesn't matter. They could find out tomorrow that Joe Biden is completely full of dementia, that he has bodies in the basement, that he eats babies, that his son is in on it, and they made deals with Ukraine. Like they could, and they won't care as long as it keeps Trump out of office. Like that,
and that's not
is crazy.
Like That's not what people and for me, like, people always miss this. Like, whenever somebody tries to come to me about, oh, did you see Trump did this? Did you see Trump did that? And they're like, oh, but you make fun of Biden. Like, no, you don't get it. We're not making fun of Biden. We're showing you what's going on so you can see, like, listen, you got to start paying attention and realize that this is not just, like, this is, it's obvious and it's in your face and you'll miss it. And then you'll be like, well, how did we get here? You know what I mean? With Trump, it's like, he's not perfect.
Yeah, and he says a lot of dumb stuff.
He's not perfect, but
and he does a lot of
you
dumb
gotta
stuff.
see how they're trying to come at him. Like he's just saying,
right?
Like they're trying to get him.
They want you to. They want you to be so tunnel vision focused on that you miss all the nonsense that's right in front of you.
And they want you to, when he does get got, if he does, and I pray that he doesn't. I mean, I don't think he's done anything wrong.
Well, that's why, like, what they're doing now with the FBI raids and now did you hear about the updates on that? Like, apparently there's two different factions of the FBI. One of them came there because he did have classified documents, but they were declassified by him specifically. He's the president; he could do that, declassify certain things, and he had those documents, and he cleared it with the FBI the way he had them stored. But apparently, like, some of those documents included stuff that happened with the RussiaGate investigation. So now the agents that came there to seize the stuff were the same agents that were heading up the RussiaGate investigation thing.
Which makes it even worse.
It's crazy. It's sounding like House of Cards type stuff.
Yeah, it is.
So you see, like, what are they doing? The narratives. All these people in media, right? You hear this guy. He's... Because the intellectuals, these are the people that are trying to push the country into a certain direction. And that's why, like, somebody like Sam Harris and these people like, well, it's not a conspiracy. We're getting together to figure out what to do. No, you are conspiring.
Yeah.
When it's out, when you're trying to conspire in a way to do something, to get somebody in a way where it's not exactly legal, but there's some loopholes.
Yeah.
Just because you don't like them.
Yeah.
That's emotional.
Yeah. And even if he isn't doing that, he's setting a tone.
Yeah.
Even if, let's say, okay, whatever, you think he's just talking. He's setting a tone because the language he just used there, he's basically telling you, listen, no matter what happens, no matter what I find out, no matter how bad it gets, no matter how terrible it looks, I will not switch.
Yeah.
This is, how could you reason with somebody who don't even want to see what's in front of them?
They don't care. Yeah. Yep.
And this is where you need, like, this is why free speech matters. This is why the just like Twitter and all these things where it becomes a town square. Like, these things matter to be so you can speak about things and it be free because it causes people to work through things.
Yeah.
Even when you don't realize you're working through things where, and you get echo chambers where people only listen on one side or the other. But you get a lot of people that will want to know the truth, because, and I think there's a lot of people that are growing up and attempting to grow up that want to know the truth.
They just genuinely want information.
Yeah, so that they can just make a decision.
But that, like, when you talk about Hunter Biden's laptop, the fact that Twitter could openly just ban the New York Post because they were the ones that broke that story, and then anyone who mentioned it, your account is banned. Like, during the election, like, that is crazy.
Yeah.
And this is why Elon Musk was trying to buy it. This is why, I don't know if you guys heard about there was a leaker from Twitter who came out and said that I think this just happened yesterday, and said that Twitter is lying about like the bot information, and basically saying that they don't have any way of knowing how many bots are on their platform. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's saying that Elon is right, because Elon, the reason why the deal fell through is because Twitter won't release certain information.
Do you think what the nightly news and media was in the 90s, early 2000s, Twitter, social media has become that? Because that's what people are collecting a lot of this information from.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily too, like, even though we see the nightly news, they're no longer tuning into that platform. That's
Yeah.
there for our parents' generation.
Right.
But our generation, the people who are setting up for the next
Yep.
20, 30 years, this is where they're sharing this information. So Sam Harris may not be known he's known to the younger people. You know what I'm saying? But he's putting out something here that what all we're asking you to do is take a listen at this guy speaking candidly and ask yourself, does that line up with what you want or what you feel is best for this country?
Yeah.
You know, because all that extra speech that when that kid pushed back a little bit, he's trying to go back and clean it up.
Yep.
And he almost goes back to like reading the cue card. He's like, speaking off cuff. Because some people are just really good at they're intellectual, so they're good at saying certain things. But when they wing it, they get lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
Because their true feelings come out.
Right.
You know, but then he quickly goes back to no, I don't think, and he tries to clean it up a bit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, he was talking in circles.
If you feel like you don't like somebody, like just think about this generally, like I hate when I hear somebody say, I just don't like them.
Yeah.
I always, why?
Yeah.
Why? You can't just not like somebody. Give me some reasons. And then it's like, I don't believe that. I believe that everybody's redeemable. And you know, it might be harder to see, obviously. Sometimes you got to go deep. But my point is that, like, if you just, you know,
dismiss,
there you go.
Disregard people.
If you disregard people and just judge them like that, like to say I don't like somebody and you barely know them, like you're just judging them.
Yeah.
Right off the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you like them? And that's what they did with Trump.
Yeah.
So my point is that if you can generally just be like, I don't like somebody, or I don't like somebody because they did this, this, and this. Oh, this person, he's such an a-hole. Like when you can just do that, you're very emotional, and you let your emotions rule you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know how to deal with people, how to negotiate with people, right? How to have conversations with people.
Yeah.
You'll just make a judgment.
Right.
That's premature. It's ignorant. You know, so all this stuff, it's so funny because you have all these intellectuals, you know, and these elite intellectuals, but they're showing how truly ignorant they are.
Very true.
And how you should not be listening to them.
All these experts.
Well, Trump is unique because before he ran for president and before he said the birther thing, he was very beloved.
He was. That's what ruined him for black people.
Well, yeah, of course.
He came for the God
after.
Obama.
Right.
He came for the God, and they didn't like that, man.
Yeah, because he was very beloved, specifically in the hip hop urban community.
And they was rapping about him
because Trump was a playboy. He was a billionaire. He was the guy, you know.
Right.
But yeah,
But it shows what the power the media has, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me read some of these comments real quick. Courtney said, listening to him is very disturbing. Yeah. Paul said, heartless intellectuals with reprobate minds. Yep. Mom said, that shows how much they hate Trump. Paul said, verbal diarrhea.
Yeah.
Stan said, Trump is so guilty that they had to make up a Russian scandal. Yes.
I mean, they've been trying to get him since he got into office.
Dude, 2 impeachments. And then we find out that, you know, from even right before he got elected, that what was the dude's name from the FBI? With him and his girlfriend were like coming up, like the insurance policy thing.
Dude, I can't even remember. But yes,
you know. And that's the other thing is that Durham investigation is investigating a lot of these FBI people that are supposed to be connected to these documents that Trump had that they went and seized. Like it's getting crazy.
Yeah,
it's getting crazy, dude.
They're trying to find anything they can.
Yeah,
this is what people do. Like, what's better, mercy or judgment?
Yeah.
Well, the Bible says that mercy triumphs over judgment.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're trying to get somebody on technicalities, what's motivating you?
you got to understand they must be so afraid that he's gonna win that they're doing all of this.
They must be so afraid that when he wins,
What's he's gonna do?
what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
You know, because he was already
What he was already had in the works.
and people don't get that. Like, why do they want him? Why are they trying to get him so much? Just because he's Trump and he shouldn't be there. He's like, what these reasons they give. He's not a good guy.
Yeah. No, he's a dictator.
racist.
He's bad
He's a
for
fascist.
democracy. Like all these things that like these.
He tells the truth. They don't like it. He's there. He's not on their team.
I was watching Patrick David's podcast on Valuetainment where he was talking.
Who's that?
The original guy who interviewed Yomi Park. Valuetainment. You know, Valuetainment page.
He's like, is he Egyptian?
I think he's from Iran.
Okay.
He was on Timcast one time.
Yeah,
right?
he's been on there before. Yeah,
Lisa Page.
Huh?
Lisa Page, right?
Lisa Page. Yeah.
That was what we were talking about.
Yeah. But anyway, he was talking to the guys on his podcast, and he was just asking them, like, he was like, if the Democrats think, because Democrats and leftists always say like Trump is a horrible candidate, you know, he won't win against anybody. He was saying like, if he's such a bad candidate, wouldn't they leave him alone and say, yeah, please run? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because he would be easy to beat.
Yeah.
The fact that they're doing all of this to
Yeah.
keep him from being able to run again
Right.
shows you how afraid they are of him.
Yeah.
Like they're more afraid of him than DeSantis because they don't ever come like they keep saying like DeSantis would be a better candidate.
Yeah, and isn't that makes people want to like, hold up, but what's going on? Not all people who are compliant, right?
Yeah.
But
Like
like
for those that are next level thinking, it's
Yeah.
like, well, why?
Curious people.
Yeah.
Like think about like when you were saying that, I was thinking about how many parents are so overbearing. Like the parents that are like, no, you're not going anywhere. You'll never have a girlfriend or a boyfriend until you're like
not leaving this house.
22.
Yeah.
You know, and they're so overly strict that they're actually hiding. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're fearful as heck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's making the kids more curious. You know, instead of like when you this is why, and these are the issues, and when it's like, but you can, because they might give you some things, but when they're very surface, which all this stuff is, right, with Trump, it's so surface.
Yeah.
When you look into it, it's like, that don't make any sense.
Yeah.
And if you give kids, like when you tell kids, say no, just say no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To
Just
drugs.
say no.
Just say no.
How well did that work?
The next generation, all those kids from the Just Say No, they're on heroin now, right?
Right.
So
That's true.
these things don't work.
And I think too is it's they know that he's already familiar with that role. So when he gets in, it's not going to be the first. Like the first year of figuring it out. It's going to be right to business.
Yeah.
And it's going to be.
They know he's
fast.
firing a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Like he's cleaning house. And I think that's what they, you know, like Fauci resigned. You know what I mean? He knows that these Republicans have already said that once they take, well, in November, they're planning on being the majority and being in power in the House and the Senate.
Yeah, which we can't take for granted.
Right. We definitely can't just assume that that's going to happen. But what I'm saying is like they've already announced that they're going to investigate him in the whole COVID thing. So it's no coincidence that like now he resigns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ron Paul coming at you, bro.
Yeah. Rand Paul.
Stan
said Peter Strzok. Yeah. Peter Strzok. Yeah, that's who it is. That's not how you spell his last name, but to be fast, Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. Yes, that is what we're talking about here. But yeah, speaking of DeSantis, speaking of Fauci resigned. I'm gonna play this in the back. You can bring this up while we talk about Fauci because this clip right here just exemplifies everything about his career to me. Like, you guys you ever see this, James?
No, I haven't.
Fauci throwing out the
there we
first
go.
pitch.
Let's check it out.
he's first of all, he's only like he's not even all the way on the pitcher's mound. But anyway, So this guy
that is terrible form. Have you ever thrown a ball in your life, dude?
And he's wearing a mask, even though he's not around anybody.
Yeah.
Wear the mask. You gotta wear the mask.
Dr. Fauci.
Give us vaccines. Yo, another clip went viral on Twitter today. I didn't bring it up because it was just too much. But it's a clip of him doing an interview in his study, and in his study he has candles with his faces on them. He has like posters.
He loves himself, dude.
He loves himself.
He loves
bro.
himself.
I mean, Trump loves himself too.
Yes,
but.
yes. But
Man.
this is the same.
He's been a doctor for like what, 30 years?
Yeah,
he hasn't really been practicing.
This is the same guy that says he is science.
Yes, he is.
He's science.
You
can't deny science.
Apparently, he's one of the highest. He's the highest paid government official in the country.
Wow.
And
not no more.
And him retiring, he's gonna get like the biggest pension of any government employee because he's been in the office that long.
Right.
You know.
Wow.
Since AIDS.
Politics, man. Politics have made the most millionaires.
It's crazy that this dude is retiring now. But speaking of masks, did you see that the CDC just changed the wording around masks, and now they're admitting that masks do nothing, pretty much.
Oh.
And you're allowed to say that on Google now.
Oh.
You're allowed to say that. You're allowed to say that masks do nothing.
Well, it does something for people who like to tell you secrets and get up close on you.
Yeah.
What are they trying to set us up for next?
Yeah.
Like
monkeypox.
Every time these things happen.
Who sent that? The Navy thing.
I did. That was Babylon B. That was
Babylon B. You know,
Moan believed it.
He's not paying attention.
Because I'm in the truck. I'm like, what? I'm getting mad. I'm like, how are they gonna make them do that?
Yo, that is hilarious. Bone got fooled by a Babylon B article. I love it.
Hey, we all got.
There is a website about how many times Babylon B has come true. Like their satire articles have come true.
Yeah. I mean, it is believable.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. But anyway, the CDC did that. Ron DeSantis talked about. He said something funny. Let me play this.
Boy,
clip.
did we dodge Andrew Gillum.
You know? Talk about monkeypox.
Right? Speaking of.
And even the CDC now is admitting no reason to treat vax or unvax any differently. Well, guess what that means? Every single mandate must be removed that the federal government's doing, that any of these states, it's wrong. And if anybody was forced into doing this and ended up with an adverse reaction, they should be able to sue over that.
Yup.
That's never going to happen, though.
That's not.
It's not. Unfortunately,
It's going to be.
But
a lot of fighting, a lot of lawyers, a lot of.
It's just crazy that they're allowed to just go back, flip flop on stuff like this all the time.
But that's not just. So to be clear, that's not just with COVID though. That's with any vaccine.
Yeah.
Any, whether the ones that's been tested or not, anything.
Well, you can sue, but you can't sue them directly.
No, you can't.
There is a government taxpayer fund that is set aside in a separate court.
Yes.
That you go to and litigate these things, and then they dish out settlements to people.
Is he dead yet? No? Wait him out.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah. It's crazy how, and that all happened under Reagan, though.
That did.
Yeah.
That did, yeah.
Yeah, they can just change whatever, man. They change definitions of stuff all the time.
Yep.
Well, you got to hold them accountable.
Yep. Let me bring up this little headline right here along the same lines. I always feel bad playing this stuff or showing this stuff because John James is like, come on, guys.
No. Listen, I already know. To me, here's the thing, right? It's more and more apparent, like this. We're living in like tumultuous times, but now we clearly understand the power of media because this makes no sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
rise in heart disease may be explained by extreme weather conditions.
Not your trip. Is it because of your trip to the Crown Fried Chicken?
Right, right. Or maybe is there something that a bunch of people were forced to take? Maybe that is tied to some kind of heart thing.
Right.
That's been. Have we seen anything about that? Has there been something about hearts and something that people have been doing a lot for the last couple of years?
I don't know.
No, it's the weather. It's extreme weather. Yeah.
Trying to blame everything on the weather.
Yeah, global warming, man. Global warming. Here's another clip of a doctor who was banned from everything for what she said right here. Let's just play this.
I'm a diagnostic pathologist and I am co-chair of the Heart Group. And I wanted to take you through the evidence that Pfizer just presented to the FDA on the 6-month to 4-year-old children. There's an
I want to just emphasize that 6 months to 4-year-olds. Pfizer just presented this data to the FDA. Okay. Just so if you didn't catch that, this is about data that they have from studies that they did from children 6 months old to 4.
Awful lot about this trial that has shocked me and I think will shock you too. The trial recruited 4,526 children aged from 6 months to 4 years old. 3,000 of these children did not make it to the end of the trial. That is a huge...
What? They did not make it as...
No. Not that...
What?
No, it's just that they had to be pulled out of the trial because of issues.
Oh.
Yeah.
Number. 2/3 of them. Why was there this drop-off? That needs to be answered. And without an answer to that, on that basis alone, this trial should be deemed null and void. So what did the trial show? Well, they defined severe COVID as children who had a slightly raised heart rate or a few more breaths per minute. There were 6 children aged 2 to 4 who had severe COVID in the vaccine group, but only 1 in the placebo group. So on that basis, the likelihood that this vaccine is actually causing severe COVID is higher than the likelihood that it isn't. There was actually one child who was hospitalized in this trial. They had a fever and a seizure. They had been vaccinated. So now let's turn to what they defined as any COVID. And what they did was to utterly twist the data. They vaccinated the children and they waited 3 weeks after the first dose before the second dose. In that 3-week period, 34 of the vaccinated children got COVID and only 13 in the placebo group, which worked out as a 30% increased chance of catching COVID in that 3-week period if you were vaccinated. So they ignored that data. And then there was an 8-week gap between the second dose and the third dose, where again, children were getting plenty of COVID in the vaccine arm. So they ignored that data. There was then 7 weeks after the third dose, which they also ignored, which meant that in the end, they had ignored 97% of the COVID that occurred during the trial. And they just looked at tiny numbers, so tiny. In the end, they were comparing 3 children in the vaccine arm who had COVID with 7 in the placebo arm. And they said that this showed the vaccine was effective.
So they took 10...
No, they eliminated all the data,
and they only took 10 kids.
They took 10 kids out of 4,526 kids.
Yeah.
And they said, these are the 10 that we're going to use because they show what we need them to show.
How to lie
with statistics. And this is what we talk about all the time when they say, studies show. You can't just believe that stuff. Because these companies are funding their own studies and they're totally skewing the numbers and lying to people about what these studies that they're doing and how safe and effective things are. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it was the same study, but there was an article that I read that, people who got the vaccine are more likely to get COVID than.
And they're more likely to have it for longer. Be contagious for longer. Yeah. Like I saw a study about that as well. I saw that and I was like, yo, this is crazy, man.
So she got canceled.
Crazy. She got canceled, yeah. Dr. Claire Craig, who was recently banned from Twitter on the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine trial for 6 months to 4-year-olds. She was banned. And we saw this over and over and over again, for the last couple of years. Any doctor who came out and actually tried to give honest data about what they found in these things, they've been banned.
Yeah.
Let me see.
We're in
What's
charge
this?
of the
Oh,
world.
okay. Yeah, this is so we talked about Andrew Tate. You guys hear he got banned from everything?
Everything?
Everything.
Wow.
He's banned from TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah. He got banned. Because and I don't know if it's because people were sharing so much of his content, whatever. A lot of his like views they consider misogynist or whatever. But I think it's more has to do with stuff like this. Okay. Bring this up, Lise, for me, please.
So when you say ban, just his personal stuff, because people can just.
That's the thing. It's any account that he's considered to own, but they don't know how the ban's going to work because it's like his whole
Especially
platform is. He's built it off of other people sharing his stuff.
Yeah, I've seen his stuff a lot.
Yeah, so how are they going to...
I just like a few months ago because he wasn't on...
No, what he did was he created like a multi-level marketing system where it's like people can buy in to his company, but part of it is sharing his content. So it's like you can make money off of sharing his content. So he came up with this like ingenious idea where it's like, I can just flood the internet with my clips by paying other people to basically find clips and post them from their pages, So that's why he's been flooding everyone's feeds. So, but this clip I thought was interesting.
We're in charge of the world are not motivated by what most people think they're motivated by. I've had a lot of people who are semi-awake come to me and say, yeah, all this stuff, it's all about money, it's all about profit. And I sit there and say, okay, but I would actually feel a lot more comfortable with the world if it was as simple as money and profit. I think it's far more sinister than that. And I think it's truly about brutal power. They don't care about profit. They don't care about money. They print the money. This is not about money. This is about just putting their foot on top of humanity and squashing it for nothing other than an ego trip. I really do believe it's about that. I believe they enjoyed things like vaccine passports simply to make us stay home so that when they don't stay home, it was a big joke. Ha ha ha. Look at them stuck in their house. I think they enjoyed it on that primal evil level. I think it's genuinely evil. I don't think it's anything to do with money. I think it's purely just power trip. I don't know how deep and how dark we're going to go down on this podcast, but even if you look at a lot of the disgusting things that are happening on islands around the world, I truly think that a lot of that is driven by the fact that not only is it disgusting and they're sexual deviants, but it's also about the fact that look what we can do that other people are not allowed to do. It's power. They just want to feel important and special. And money's not enough anymore. Money, if you're born with money, money does not make you feel important and special. They need something else to satisfy their disgustingly large demonic egos. And if that means locking everyone in their house so they can't see their grandma, so be it. And I say this to people and they say, no, surely that's too simple an explanation that the people in charge of the world are just power tripping. No, it's not too simple an explanation. That's exactly what is happening. When you tell a full-grown adult to wear a mask, go and walk and sit down in a restaurant, take it off, eat, stand up and put it back on to walk to go piss, and then walk back, take it off and sit down and eat. That's pure power game. That's nothing to do with science, nothing to do with saving lives. That's just ha ha ha. Look what the peasants will do on command. That's all it is. What else could it possibly be?
Truth.
I always thought that was silly. Going to restaurants.
Yeah, it made no sense.
Yeah. We made that joke all the time. Oh, COVID don't exist when you're sitting
used to-
down eating.
I used to joke with that with Elise, right?
Yeah.
They noticed that. Noah's made comments about that
Yeah.
too. And they're little kids.
Yeah.
Right.
There was another clip where he talked about how he knows that it's truly about elitist power because as soon as he started not complying to the rules and saying like, all right, I realized that if I'm flying commercial, I have to put on a mask. I have to do. You saw that, and he's like, so all I did was I flew private.
And none
of that existed.
That's true.
None of the employees, none of the pilots, he said they don't have. If you have money, those rules don't apply to you.
Right. So you and me have talked about this before, and here's a glimpse of that. Right. I
Yeah.
think for a lot of people who are just working class, maybe a little bit of upper class, we don't know what that world is like. Access to money and material things, and to be able to do things without even thinking about them.
Right.
So when we hear things like this, it sounds fantastical and like so far reaching that we're like, nah, if I had that kind of money, I would go to the Bahamas and jet ski, and I would do. They've already done that.
They've done it a million times.
What else would thrill these people?
Yeah.
And I don't think people understand that beyond for let's take a regular guy. Oh, what do you want? Oh man, I want to have a bunch of girls and go to Vegas and gamble. They already did that.
Yeah.
So they're already thinking about the next sick thing that they can do, which is why like the island thing makes sense. Because here's the other thing, right? If we were all about protecting kids and justice, why haven't they released any of these people on that Ghislaine Maxwell, that trial that was all hidden?
100%.
But we know everything about Johnny and
Amber Heard. Yeah.
And that list of people aren't peasants.
Yeah.
They aren't people like you and me working 9-to-5 jobs. These are powerful, wealthy people, whether they have industrialists or whether they're people from dynasties, whether they're people who have celebrity. Nobody.
Yeah.
None of those names have been given to the public. None. Okay?
Yeah.
Doesn't that say something about our judicial system, our court system? When you think of like the amount of power they have that they could withhold that they'll just give you a glimpse of what's going on, but you don't need to see anything else. We have no clue who these people are. We don't even know. It's just the end of it. It's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe we'll know 20, 40 years from now when these people are all long gone. But for now, you get nothing.
You get nothing.
Check out R. Kelly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look at him.
Focus on that.
Yeah. Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, how about like there was a YouTuber, Ryan Tran, is it? Or Trahan? I don't know if you heard. He's like pretty big. I think he's got like over 2 million followers or subscribers.
Okay.
And he had a Christian girlfriend. I think they're married now. And basically he came to the point where like he was successful, right? And he's like making all this money, but he was empty.
Yeah.
You know, and he was trying to, because he had this girlfriend, she would challenge him, you know. But he didn't, like, he thought once I get to this place where I think I need to be, now it's going to be better for me. And it never happened.
Yeah.
You know, it's short-lived. Like, you celebrate, you know, because you're there, but then it's like, after the celebration, it's over.
It's over.
You know?
That dopamine
you gotta
wears
leave
off.
in the nostalgia of what was.
So now you need that next thing.
Yeah.
And people will forget about your accomplishment quick. They'll be like, yeah, but what are you doing now? You know what
exactly.
I mean? Let me play this clip of this fighter. Maybe you guys know who this is, but he said this after he won his fight. This is pretty hilarious.
I don't know who that is.
Nope.
So all those doubting my NFT, you're looking at the guy. That's the reason that college athletes and high school athletes are getting paid today. Mr. Influencer to influencers. Secondly, Jimmy Kimmel, viral this. I fight to eradicate childhood malnutrition from the planet. And until they release the flight logs, you, the mainstream media, Hollywood, are all pedophiles to me. Eat dick.
But he brought up the fight logs.
Yeah.
He brought up the fight logs. He said Jimmy Kimmel, you and Hollywood, they're all pedophiles. Like
he brought up the flight log.
Yeah, you were just talking about that. You know,
why is he wearing that though?
I don't know. It's weird. Weird. I didn't know who that was.
He looked more like a WWE wrestler.
Is that
no,
was this
more of the parade?
Was this WWE?
Yeah.
What is this?
That's I think
that looked like it's
UFC bought up a whole bunch of like amateur leagues.
Okay.
So they have like PFL.
Young lion, young lion.
Whoa, whoa.
Just go back to 3. Just go back to 3.
Young lion, young lion. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look,
Live, yeah. Young lion, you rich, yeah. This kingdom has
It's okay.
It's okay.
Listen to me to wrap it up, Buck.
Yeah, she's like, wrap it up.
No, yeah, they bought up a whole bunch of small leagues.
Okay.
But back to what we're saying about this thing, you know, and this to me is what's so disheartening about adults. Listen.
Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, won't you get up and stop fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding.
All right, James. Just what were you gonna say?
Yeah. So I was saying, you know, even if you don't.
Young lion, everywhere I look,
What is going on?
everywhere I look, they're dying. Young
Not Lacey.
lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, won't you get up and stop fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding.
We okay over there, Jamie?
I'm trying to see.
Lacey, Abuela said, Lacey, you're doing great.
Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, won't you get up and stop fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding. Young lion, everywhere I look.
All right.
Young lion,
One more time.
everywhere I look.
One more again. You remember what you were talking about?
I do.
Okay, we should be good now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. So,
Stan said, all good.
yeah. So speaking of the power tripping thing and the elite members of society, like I said, you know, when you look at the way this this case with her was handled, like that, this fighter is talking about here, the celebrities that are speaking of global warming and this and all these other things, they're not mentioning anything about this.
Nope.
It's almost like they don't. This not even on their radar.
Yeah.
You know, that tells me a lot about what they value. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
or they have something to hide.
Yeah, or has
so
something
they're on the list.
They know what not to say. You know.
Yeah. And then it also makes you think about, all right, so maybe someone who's not in their club, they would be so adamantly against like this person having any power or influence. Maybe they would go so hard, like, because look at Jimmy Kimmel, look at all these people are so aligned in an ideology and getting everyone to believe like them. It's like no, don't believe that guy. It's like if we all knew someone was going to out us for something, we would go crazy to get everyone to hate that person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it almost makes you think like there's something weird going on here.
Yeah.
You know? All right. Had a little.
So Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Why he bring him up? Does he know something we don't know?
Maybe, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Say he does have some TDS, some extreme TDS. All right. So another thing I want to talk about. The title of this episode is Zoophilia.
Oh God.
You guys familiar with this term? Yeah. I saw it for the first time on Twitter.
I'm not familiar with this.
What is this?
I saw I saw it years ago on Vice, and I was mortified.
Zoophilia.
I'm thinking about it.
Just
dealing with animals.
Yes, dealing with animals. Okay. And when
I'm not gonna say the word.
Well, you took a long road to get here.
Well, no, the reason why I named it that is because it's definitely something that I was like, what, but then I saw something on Twitter because the thing is, like, when we talk about this agenda, when we talk about like how the bar keeps moving, how the goalpost keeps moving, these things have been brought up in the past.
Yeah.
And it's always been, you're reaching. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
No one.
I know exactly where you're going with this.
You know where I'm going with this. Yeah. And we've talked about here on before, like how they've been slowly trying to. Last week we talked about them trying to the idea of minor attracted persons, pedophilia, all that stuff.
Right.
Why wouldn't they okay this?
Sure.
Why wouldn't they okay this?
Yeah. They've sat tired if you say that, because it's almost become. If you mention anything within the vein of just sexual perversion, you're the old, out of date.
Yeah.
You're just reaching. You're just, you can't let people live, etc., etc. The joke, God didn't create Adam and Steve.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're making fun of you. You know what I mean? Like, you're an idiot. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. And we all know that we're dealing with this monkeypox thing. I had an article here. Here it is. So from MedPage today, monkeypox symptoms are tied. Now they're saying that it's tied to specific type of sex that patients had, basically.
Right.
Because it has to deal with more sexual fluids than just skin to skin contact, like they thought before. It's more about sexual experiences.
Sure.
Okay. Then we have this story from the Lancet, which when you say it, people will be like, no, it can't be. Let me get rid of this. Evidence of human to dog transmission of monkeypox virus. Okay. So when you read this story, it goes in to talk about how the dog had these lesions around the anus. Okay. Which could be
let's kind of, watch.
Yeah, I know. It could be brushed off as, dogs rub their butts on the carpets or on beds or whatever, But then we get into this idea of what we were just talking about. And I saw this on Twitter. Read the title of this tweet.
Zoophilia Pride March in Germany.
Oh, yeah.
A Zoophilia Pride March.
Yes.
Okay, let's just play a little bit of this. Zoophile writes, "Love is love."
Which?
Once I had a sexual relationship with an animal. It was a dog, a male dog, who was who used me, let's say. And in the moment, I'm living together with a German Shepherd bitch.
Yo, this is crazy. It's not even funny.
To build an emotional relationship to an animal than to a human. And so for me, it's even easier to have some sexual contact with an animal than with a human.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable.
Huh?
I said I'm not comfortable.
Dude, it's so... This is crazy. This is crazy.
I didn't know they had a pride on it.
They want their rights.
I mean, it's gonna come.
They want everyone else getting their rights.
Right.
Why don't we get our rights?
Why don't we get our rights?
Why don't we deserve to be happy? and be free.
Because that's not all right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw it on Vice. I mean, years ago when Vice was more documentary driven.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was mortified that even existed. That world. But you're right. I mean, people will take humans. Man, it's disturbing.
Yeah, but it's like.
But you see now, here's the thing, right? So, from a scientific or understanding disease and bacteria, right? Just if you live with animals in your house,
Yeah.
you know, animal fecal matter, pee, and all that stuff like that increases bacteria, right?
Mhm.
You already know that just for cohabitating with them in that sense, right? Especially if you have children, all this kind of stuff like that. That just happens. Like foot and mouth disease, like kids that are around farms or whatever it is. Like when Sophia was little, there was a rash of like foot and mouth disease, and right in Lumberton, there's a lot of people who have farms and stuff that have pets and stuff like that. So we understand that. So now you introduce this thing where it's a sexual contact.
Yeah.
What are you exposing? And then now you're spinning this to the public as what? And we're not considering all these factors. This is insane. You know, this is insane. So a guy like this who goes to Ibiza, enjoys the weekend, and comes back, what does he do?
Right.
Or he goes to Jamaica, or he goes to some parade here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now the rest of society is forced to deal with something that was started, you know what I mean, under perverse means.
Yeah.
And you have to deal with it. And they won't say it because then, you know, you're demonizing this group.
Yeah. They're marginalized.
Yeah.
I don't see I don't see white liberals in America getting on board with this.
For now.
Yeah, like they're more inclined to be okay with the maps thing. But you talk about dogs and animals.
I think we'd be surprised, man. That's how depraved we've gotten.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
You've took words out of Jay can't talk.
Yeah, Courtney said that poor dog. I mean, the look of the when they go to the dog's face.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, this dog is being tortured, man.
Yeah, yeah. But that's been around for a long time, man. Like I said, Vice did a documentary about it a while back, and it was wow. Like, this is intense. There's no limits to sexual perversion.
Yeah.
Like, there's no limits to it. And if it wasn't restrictive enough, the type of stuff, it would be crazy. You know what I mean?
He said it's easier for him to do it to the dog than the human. Yeah, look at.
Yeah.
All
right.
Real quick, right? Speaking of not just necessarily this, but the time we're living in, the demasculation of men. More and more men are virgins now. Don't you think that the way society's being set up, right? More and more men who've been emasculated, they start to discover themselves, but they're doing it now in their 30s or whatever it is, because they spent all this time not doing that. Don't you think they'd be more open to not just stuff like this, but any kind of idea?
Yeah.
Because they're being introduced to it as a grown man. So to them, it's just exploration, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is, you know what I mean?
Plus, they've been introduced to the ideas of it through visual stimulants.
Through visual stimulants.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
All along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Like,
I mean,
he reached his limit.
That's sick, man. It's
right.
Yeah.
Yes. They're worried about feelings, and they're worried about the one thing that they should be worried or talking about is the mental illness of these people.
Yeah.
You know, even
but you can't even acknowledge it in that way anymore.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
even though a lot of these facilities, a lot of these like gender affirming facilities in other countries are starting to now, you know, they're starting to acknowledge it. They're starting to shut down their like puberty blocker things, and they're starting to suggest psychiatry instead. You know, because they're starting to realize that it's not having an effect on, like, you know, child suicide rates and things like that. Like, it's really having no effect.
Right. And then, like what Joe Rogan was saying, aside from that, I think they're also recognizing what China is up to.
Yeah.
With TikTok.
I
think more societies aside from the United States is starting to recognize that these new technology are going to have a long-term effect on the generation coming. Because what is China doing? They're suppressing, the algorithm is what? To suppress what? Dance, anything that's entertainment wise.
Yeah.
They suppress that.
Mm-hmm.
And anything that's science, math driven, they push that.
Yeah.
And I think they shut it off at what time? I think it's 10 or something like that.
9 or 10 p.m.
Right.
The kids can't even
You cannot
access
convince me
Yeah.
that this is not deliberate.
Right.
This is not deliberate. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because here, all that stuff is pushed.
You can't control it here.
Them kids can't access dance videos in
You
China.
can't access it. And who is to even say that that video that's so silly and stupid has that many views, or the algorithm, they made it that way. So you feel like you're missing out because you didn't see the new thing.
Right.
But over there, that's suppressed. So I think, because I've heard a couple of people from other countries speak out about this.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm talking about like governmental official and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's really here.
Well, who tried to ban TikTok?
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? And got all this pushback.
And more
you know,
kids, yeah.
Kids are going to kill themselves,
Right.
you know? And now, like you were talking about, Joe Rogan did a thing where he went through some of the terms of service of TikTok, like,
Yeah.
and read through them. And like, they literally are allowed to track your keystrokes. If you search anything on there from your entire phone,
That's crazy.
they can track your keystrokes.
That's espionage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. Like, you giving that app access to your entire phone.
Right. And I heard that, you know, is it Huawei?
Huawei, yeah.
Okay. They're handing out like computers to countries and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I don't know how true this is. This is just something I heard, that there was an African country that had a building, and it was tied into banking. And one of their techs at nighttime, the computer would turn on, and right between a certain time during the night, the computer turned on and was sending back information back to China.
Wow.
You know what I mean? In Africa.
Yeah, I wouldn't put that past
You know what I
them.
mean? And it was
Yeah, Huawei is building 5G towers all over the
listen,
world.
if somebody can make something and give it to you,
Yeah.
they can turn it on and control it.
Yeah, wasn't China supplying like a bunch of farmers with these technologies to help them?
It was out in the West.
Yeah, yeah.
And you was it you that told me that Apple got caught up in they were intentionally slowing down phones or something like that?
Yeah,
And
yep.
it was something, I don't know.
Yeah. No, they got caught doing
Which
it.
I always thought, I was like, if you have the power to upgrade, you have the power to downgrade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
They
know,
were purposely slow down phones, you know, once they became a certain amount of years old so that you would
buy the new
Yeah.
one. Plan obsolescence, you know what I mean? Like, the reason they do that.
My son asked me a question today. He's like, Daddy, can the devil give you what you want? Like, if you do whatever he wants? Like, I don't know where.
Yeah.
Which one
like,
is your son?
Jake.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, and then it comes with nothing's ever free. It comes with stipulations. You're gonna have to suffer. He's gonna come to pay for his payback. He's never gonna give you something
Comes at a price.
out of his heart just to give it.
Yeah.
God does that. So, and he was asking because he's just saying like how people get money. He started asking me about how people become billionaires. How people,
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we talked a little bit about that, but freedom comes with a price, right? To be free comes with a price. To be free to do whatever you want comes with a price, right? But it's normally you're not wanting to pay this price, right? I think that's like one of the biggest points about Jesus. Jesus paid that price.
Yeah.
You know, and when we don't realize when we go to we go into agreements with people, with things, with thoughts in our mind that say this sounds good because I can get this, or I can do this, or I can be with this person, or because it's just free, right? Free love, free, all these things. They always come with a price. And we're starting to see like think about the free love thing. Like that started in the 60s, right? But now we're starting to see how bad it's getting, right? We're starting to see how low you can really go, and
love is love.
Yeah, and these things, they don't have a bottom.
Are you curious to ask the people who in that what would they think of it now?
Right.
Because they were the arbiters of this.
Yeah.
What would they say?
Yeah.
I mean,
they probably would have no idea.
But see, what my point is that, like, when you don't have a foundation for the things that, like, love, the only reason why we can understand love is because God first loved us through Jesus, right? Like that's from John 4, where it says, "Perfect love casts out all fear." Cast out all fear. The only way we can love and really understand and ground our love is because somebody did it first.
Yeah.
Right? The reason why our kids can understand is because their parents did it first. Right? The reason why you honor your parents is because they first loved you. Right? And these are the things that we're losing.
Right.
Right? And especially you're saying why with men? Because men are the head. They're the first in the household. And that's not really, they're the first because they need to be last. They need to be last because to be a provider, and that's not just, when I say that, it's not about financial, and it can be, but I'm saying really it's about having a foundation, being grounded to die to your own wants and give yourself over for other people. Like, to start a family, you have to do that. You have to die. And this is how families work. Jesus died for us so that this world could be reconciled back to God as a family in God.
The
Right?
first shall be last. It just made me think of the Chris Rock joke about fathers. All they get is the big piece of chicken. You know what I mean? Like they work hard, they do everything for the family, they sacrifice everything, and all they can look forward to is they get the big piece of chicken. You know?
Yeah, but these ideas that came about, like, they sound good, they're enticing, like free love, like all these things. They sound good, they're enticing, but they have no bottom, meaning they have no foundation.
Yeah.
Where you're like that's what we're doing right now with all this, not we, but like where society is going with all this stuff. You're going into areas that are very scary because you don't know what
it's an
you're gonna
abyss.
expect.
Like you said, there's no bottom to it. It's an abyss.
You're literally like just going out
It's
there into
endless.
darkness.
Yeah.
And you don't know where the light is. And you're like, well, I'm going to just have faith.
Yeah.
That's not the kind of faith I want. I have faith because Jesus died for me. That's light. I got a foundation. That's love, right? There's something there that I can now die in. And that's, I think, like why men are attacked so much, because there is an order to this world. There's an order to the way we live in this world. And when you want to live any way, quote unquote, free, you're living in limbo. You don't know what's up and what's down, And
then you get stuff like this. I'm gonna show y'all this story that they did on Today, and people were pointing out an obvious. It goes right along with what you were saying, Jake. Bring this up for me, Lise, please.
I don't want to win any trophies for it, though. I feel like that's the most unfair way to compete because it's not about winning.
Watch this.
Having fun with your friends for it, though. I feel like that's the most unfair way to compete because it's not about winning.
Kieran seems undeterred with a message now about...
You peeped that?
No,
Did you peep that?
Repeat it.
Yeah, pay attention. So they play they're interviewing the mom and the child who is clearly confused, you know, and then people notice something.
Fair way to compete because it's not about winning.
What's it about?
Having fun with your friends for it, though. I feel like that's the most unfair way to compete because it's not about winning.
It's literally like a script.
She's mouthing.
She's mouthing it because she, you know, she can't help. She wants the child to say what it's been coached to say. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And it's like people started posting this on Twitter, like, "Yo, this is complete grooming right here. Complete grooming."
I always wonder too. Is this like a, you know how like the news always sitting down with somebody?
Yeah.
It could very well be a producer and their kid. It could be very, you know what I mean? It's like
someone in their staff.
right.
Yeah.
You know, it could, who knows?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But I thought that was a crazy story because they did this whole like puff piece on this child who wanted, I think it was like wants to play girl sports, you know.
It's a boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, look at the mom. You know what I'm saying? Just that's all I'm
They
gonna
showed
say.
a picture. There was a dad in the
picture. There is a dad in the picture. But who, like Jake was just saying, you know what I mean? It's about getting men out of the way.
Yeah, you do have like the issue of like, I was thinking about this today. Like, you know that most people as Christians pray over their food, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't really understand why,
Mm.
right? There's no like, you do it because you got to bless the food.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Why are we doing this? Like, everything you do, don't do it if you don't understand why you do it.
Right.
Or do it with the intention to understand. You might not understand, but to the intention that you will understand.
Let's
You know what I
ask
mean?
Elise. Elise, do you understand why we pray over our food? Okay.
And this is where we have to do our jobs.
Yeah.
Like, why do we do this, right? Because then it gets lost, right? If you just tell your kids to do these things, and then you don't explain why.
Well, I've explained it, but apparently you don't listen when I explain it.
I think she just doesn't want to be in the limelight or on the
But
spotlight.
when you don't explain it and you're not consistent with it too. Right?
Yeah.
Consistency is key. What happens is we lose it, right? And then it becomes superficial.
Mhm.
And that's the problem. It's the superficial stuff because then it's disrespected, right? And then you have people like this that they say these things and it sounds good to people who are very superficial.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, okay, they're dotting their T's. I mean, they're dotting their T's. They're dotting their I's and crossing their T's,
Yeah.
right? They got it all down, what I think. And that's what Obama was. Obama was the epitome of the president that you thought was great because he had it all together, right? But it was all superficial. And that's all people cared about. Oh, look at him singing a Beyonce song. Look at
Yeah.
them dancing over there to Beyonce and Jay-Z. Oh, they're such a great, they're an it couple. What president is better than Obama and what's her name? Michelle, right? So this is what we get. And people, and even in Harlem, like when we did that show, right?
Yeah.
That's what we got.
Yep.
Most of the people that, you know, like we were talking about, everybody wanted to be on stage. It was so bad that this guy's got to convince them to get a mic to sing background. Like, that blows our mind, but it's because of the superficial, right? He wants to, even singing, take singing, right? You can teach a kid how to sing, and he can sing amazing, but if he doesn't have the soul of it, which is really the spirit of it, you'll miss it, right? But people in church, oh man, they killing that, right?
Yeah.
Because people are so trained for
They'll
the
even
superficial.
say, "Oh, they're anointed." You know?
Yeah, there you go, anointed. But it's just superficial. It's not deep,
Right.
When you say, "Oh, you're deep," you're saying you're deep because you've gone deep with something and you understand it, and you haven't just let it go to a superficial means. You're going deep. And this is what needs to be raised up right now. People who can combat this superficial crap, right? And not just want to debate, because a debate don't win. It's when you go deep, you become the explanation. You know what I mean? You actually become the explanation. You become the definer. Right? And this is what we need. This is what we need from people right now, because this stuff is getting out of control.
And speaking of out of control, segue into this next clip. I got a couple more clips and then we'll wrap it up. It's not much more. But this is
Buckle up, everybody. It's time to talk.
This is our lessons in pronouns. You guys ready for a lesson in pronouns?
No.
Yeah.
Give you guys a quick
We don't
lesson.
have a choice.
Buckle up, everybody. It's time to talk about my pronouns. I use the pronoun set ni, nem, near. Ni, nem, near. And it's a gender-neutral pronoun set. It's a neo-pronoun. The word neo-pronoun makes it sound like it's not been around for very long. My specific pronouns have been around for over 100 years. Neo-pronouns are not that new of a thing. We just came up with new words that fit us better. It's fine. An example of how to use them would be the sentence, Ni went to the market with near friends who love Nem. Ni went to the market with near friends who love them. So that is Nem over there. This is near room.
She's
I really
confused
liked
herself.
Nem.
Yeah.
He was nice.
What's
Not
what's
all
the
non-bi-
what's the Kanye
This
line?
is confusing.
About spending money, $100 on this, just to be like,
you ain't up on this.
Yeah, what is
I
that?
didn't spend spent $400 on this just to be like, you ain't up on this. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what's happening with these things. Like, people want to be heard, and they want to try to create something.
It's narcissism.
Yeah.
It's I need you to
need my own
acknowledge how special I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? I got another one.
And it's literally meaningless.
Yeah. I got another one. Another lesson for y'all. This one is
God pronoun so offensive to people. Like, it's a pronoun. Get over it. And so I'm going to say my pronouns real quick and why. So he spelled HY is because I'm agender and I just like the masculinity, but I don't want to be associated with men. That's why he HY, right? Then I have
he HY.
So this is just Ebonics for whites.
Right? It's only white, like little white girls with crazy haircuts trying to tell us what they. But this person has God pronouns.
And that's just me being like, you can use that. I'm okay with that. Like, pop off. It's like not my favorite, but go for it. I don't care. Zer, I'm fine with. Like, it's okay. I think it's better than they them, but it's kind of like the same thing. God is me validating my agenderness. Oh, fuck, I ruined this Q-tip. Me validating my agenderness because I don't view myself as a god. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in gods. But I just like the, not feeling, but how it's perceived with me. So God, the reason why I use it is because as an agender person, I don't have a gender. So it's like I'm existing and I'm not existing at the same time. God, right? I am a being and I'm not a being at the same time. Like God. So that's why people can get offended. That's fine. But nothing else validates my agenderness like that pronoun.
So she has the ability to call herself God.
To not be.
Bro, it's like the most extreme
she don't believe in
level
God.
of narcissism ever.
Could you imagine, like, they need this to talk, because in real life, no one is a stranger is not standing around to have you explain to them this.
Yeah.
No one is standing around like, I am a nem him.
Right.
Who's standing around?
And I need you to acknowledge why.
Walk away from them.
Yeah. No, you are crazy. You have mental illness.
Yeah, none of this stuff. Can any of this stuff really exist? Like,
without social media? No.
Especially TikTok.
I don't know why. This just reminded me of that joke when the manager, they were calling for the manager. They were standing in line, and the Indian manager came and said that the world don't revolve around you.
yeah. Who's wanting?
Who's wanting to talk?
Yeah.
Look here, lady.
How did that joke go? James?
Do you remember?
I don't remember it fully, but it's
like
you gotta pull it
yeah.
because I can't do it.
You think the world is
is
revolving?
I don't remember exactly.
Maybe I can find it.
Yeah.
It was funny.
But I think this only exists in social media.
Yeah.
Nobody in public is standing around to let
I've never,
someone lecture.
This doesn't happen. I never experienced that.
Why is it narcissism? Because don't nobody care, but the fact that you're saying all this, you act like anybody cares. The only people who care are the people who want to do exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
And you're trying to tongue lash. Because honestly, a person like that they would never go up to a grown man and try to lecture him on that unless there's a crowd or something. But by themselves, they'll never do it.
Yeah.
They'd never do it. Could you imagine a girl like that trying to go up to like someone like DMX? I gotta break down my pronoun. They'll run for their life.
DMX.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, years ago when I used to be in the nightlife world, I never saw any gay beating up. I never saw any of that. You know what I'm saying? The only time I saw resistance was when the transvestite dudes would come into the straight space and try to trick. That's the only time I saw something happening.
Yeah.
Was when there was a transvestite coming into a straight club and was trying to grind up on dudes or something like that.
Right.
That's the only time I would see any resistance. But I never saw any sort of violence. And aside from San Francisco, Philadelphia is one of the most openly gay cities.
Yeah.
But they had their own space. It's what's happening now is they want to be able to come into the space that you have and you not say anything. You know what I mean?
You're
right.
phobic.
And I'll tell you guys a story. I remember years ago I went with some friends to a mystery dinner. You guys ever seen that before? It's like a whodunit. You have to like
like a murder mystery.
Yeah, murder mystery.
Wow.
And I remember there was this one guy there, and he was dressed up as a woman, but he was way too into this character, and he was overplaying the character, but he was like grinding on guys, taking their heads in. So when I saw he was going down the line, and he was really enjoying this. So when he got to me, I was like, I'm good. And what started happening was my friends turned on me, and they were just like, let him just have fun, relax. I'm like, listen, I am not letting another man grind on me or gyrate on me, right? And if it's a woman, it was like, listen, I'm totally uncomfortable with this. And that's when I realized that a lot of times the men who he did that to were uncomfortable too.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to push back. They didn't want to seem a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, and I dreaded doing that because I didn't want to offend anybody. But I was like, I can't let this happen.
And then women will try to emasculate you and say like,
who it was.
"Oh, you're not secure." You know,
the girl that I went with basically told me she was embarrassed because I didn't participate in this.
Wow.
I didn't let this guy. She's like, it's just for fun. It's just relax. You're so uptight. Now, also, I'm the problem. I'm like, listen, I don't want nobody grinding on me, male or female, but specifically another man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, and that's when I realized, wow, like, you have to really be careful about who you hang out with or who your circle is because, like I said, they basically turned on me.
Yeah.
It's like, this is part of the show.
That's
you know
crazy.
What I mean? And like I said, he was enjoying it way too much, man. And that taught me a lesson. Like, I have to be very careful about putting myself in certain environments because I don't know. You know what I mean?
And you're looking around like, who am I with?
Yeah, man. She invited me to this thing. I had never gone to one before. She asked me. And she was very into, like, art and poetry and Friday night. Do you guys remember Philly had those, like, artist nights? They had, like, Philly artist night. They started a series in, like, the early 2000s.
Dude, we stopped hanging out by that point, I think.
That's right. But my point is, I went to it, but I wasn't expecting that. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I feel like people push you into this, and then they make you feel strange because you don't participate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely. Peer pressure.
Yeah, that was uncomfortable. That was no one wanted to hang out with me after that, which was fine.
Stan said Romans chapter 1, 24 to 32.
Putting Bible verses.
Mom said, like I said, it's getting worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. I love when people say that because it's like, don't really know that. Like, we don't.
Yeah.
It could have been, it could have been so
Sodom is
astronomical.
looking at us like,
yeah, right.
Yup. You gonna let this fly?
It could have been crazy out there.
This is what James. This is what Stan. Therefore, God gave them up to their lust, to the lust of their hearts, to impurity, to the dishonoring of their bodies among themselves, because they exchanged the truth about God for a lie and worshiped and served the creature rather than the Creator.
That's that big bull thing you guys showed.
Yeah.
Where they were worshiping. Is that the bull thing is Moloch,
That's
right?
Moloch, yeah.
Yeah, which is connected to abortion.
Yeah, Moloch is the
and connected to how destruction of nations.
You ever wonder, what if that thing actually manifested, that spirit? They would probably all run. They wouldn't even know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, what did we do?
That's it right there, right?
I think this is the joke.
White women are like superheroes, man. I'm telling you. They keep society moving.
Is this the one?
I'm telling you, I don't care if you're at the DMV or the fucking CVS. You got a friend. If there's some bullshit, she always steps up for everybody in the store. What is this shit? White women take initiative, man. Son of a bitch! Where's the manager? You guys hold on. I'll take care of this bullshit. White women keep society moving, boy. You ever been in the line like a half an hour, no cashiers, no managers?
That would be
white woman
considered
to
a
the
Karen
rescue.
now.
She fly in and shit. How long have you guys been in this fucking line? How long have you been in this line? 45 goddamn minutes. Unbelievable. Hello, help these goddamn people! Thank you, white woman. You're welcome. I'm going to Home Depot. Sure, I can find some bullshit over there.
Oh, that's not the clip with the.
Yeah,
That's not the one?
It's not the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's funny because it reminds me. I heard Andrew Schultz talking about somebody in his building who's a Karen.
Yeah, but he needs her.
Yeah, but
Yeah, exactly.
It is true.
Because she says the things I don't want to say.
It's true. She keeps an eye on things.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Karens, let me tell you what happened to me.
Uh-oh.
We got a
Well,
Karen.
it's not a
story.
Karen, but okay. I'm driving home, so you guys all know I live in Lumberton. It's kind of like in the woods-ish area, right?
Yeah.
I'm coming through the back roads because 295 traffic is hectic, right? I see an older white woman with a bunch of bags. Now, I'm in my work van. She weighs me down. And I roll my window down because she's just waving down. This.
Yeah.
She comes running around the backside of the truck. She says, "Excuse me, sir, can you give me a ride?" As soon as she breaks the corner and sees me, she's like, "Never mind."
You should have been like, no, I'll give you a ride. Come on. Come
No,
on.
she did not skip a beat. She said, "Never mind."
You didn't mess with her?
No,
I'll give you a ride.
I didn't know what to do. I just saw her with like a whole bunch of bags, and she was walking. She just waved me down, and like how the street was, she ran around the truck. So I guess she didn't really get a glimpse. She said, "Excuse me, second, never mind." She turned around.
Yeah, I can't find that joke, but anyway, we'll find it later.
That's a good one.
All right, let's wrap it up, guys.
Wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. Get Elise out of here. She's been
Show your face one more time. Let's give you a round of applause.
Yeah, great job.
That's our little niecey poo over there.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody who's been hanging with us this whole time. We appreciate you guys, and I would like to thank my little Lisi for producing today. You did a great
Ace.
job.
Good job.
Couple hiccups. We'll figure that out.
Yeah,
Me and you
and
will
don't
work
worry
on
about
it.
her staying up late. She's been in training since she was 2.
Yeah,
When was the
Mom
time we
said
went to the
Lacey
gym?
is watching so much cursing. We're sorry about that.
She's heard that stuff. I mean, it's just
We've gone to what time we went to the gym. Jamie and I used to work out back in the day.
yeah.
And we went to the gym. Jamie came
With
home.
y'all?
Yeah, with you guys. Yeah, and you came home like around 11:30.
Yeah.
She was up.
Yeah.
And she wanted to hang out. She
Yeah.
wanted to come. You said no.
Yeah. I said go to bed.
Go to bed.
Yeah.
We go to the gym. We spent plenty of time talking and sit in the circle talking for a while. I think we got home around 1.
No, it was 3 a.m.
It was 3 a.m?
Yes.
No.
Yes, it was. It was 3 a.m. because we worked out first.
That's an hour and a half.
And then we sat in the parking lot and talked like this.
Another hour.
We did a whole podcast in the
man.
parking lot.
3 in
and
the
then we got
morning.
home at 3 a.m, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
And we opened that door.
Yes.
And what did we see?
She breaks the corner and we see a little curly haired girl smiling. Like I waited for you guys.
She's cracking up.
Yeah. But
Don't forget that.
Yeah, she's doing a good job. So we appreciate you for helping us tonight, and it's gonna get easier. I promise. But shout out to you guys for being here and you know, having this conversation. We didn't really have a serious topic, so we just had a bunch of stuff to, you know, react to. Bunch of reactions, crazy stuff going on. Shout out to everybody who's been watching. Courtney, Mom, I see you guys. We appreciate y'all. Courtney said you did a great job. Stan, give you a round of applause. Abuela said Lacey is. Oh, you already said that. Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We will be back next week. In the meantime, don't forget to like, share, comment. Really share the video. That helps us the most with the algorithm and everything. But also, you can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/youngliontv, and become a member on there. Sign up and help this cause, support this kingdom. And yeah, Cash App, Young Lion TV, merch and stuff on Jatan.com. If you're coming to the show on Saturday, we will see you there.
Yep,
and
see you there. I'll meet some of you guys.
Yeah. James will get to meet you guys, and we'll get to chop it up and have some great music. And Elise, you ready to hit that outro?
Yes.
Okay. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Young lion, go live, yeah. Young lion, you rich, yeah. This kingdom has room, yeah. Go and fight people in.